it's me, Will Spirit Dancer, and I am the Dream Warrior, and so are you. What is a Dream Warrior? Well, if you want to know, watch the other videos before this one. I'm tired of talking about it. A Dream Warrior is someone who's fully living their purpose, ideally with their passion as the tool. The thing you care about is your purpose, and the thing you love to do is your passion. You use the thing you love to do the thing you care about, which is your purpose. So use your passion to do your purpose, and then you are a Dream Warrior out in the world, making a difference. So, let's talk about the battlefield. Yeah, I love war analogies. And people are like, probably, wait, I thought you were a spiritual person. Yeah, I am. But then, I had to come to the hard conclusion that it is a war, it is a battle. It's a spiritual battle. So let's talk about the lay of the battlefield. Now this stuff is gonna kind of go off the edges. Hey, if you can't handle heat, it's fine. I totally understand. You wanna ask me questions about it? Let's talk about it in the comments. So let's talk about our enemy. Oh, we have enemy. I thought Jesus said to forgive everyone. Sure, we can forgive them, but while they're wreaking havoc in the world, we still have to fight them. And so here's what's going on. Here's the lay of the battlefield. And then maybe in another video, I'll talk about why you are in this battle and how it all relates to your purpose. We could call that the purpose of your purpose. Ooh, deep. All right, so here's the deal. Who is our enemy? Well, what's the ultimate problem first? The ultimate problem is that this civilization is literally destroying this planet. Not only is it destroying the planet, like the earth and the things that live on it, it's also destroying us as a society, the people who live in it. And sure, I'm not totally conspiracy theory, but I am open to ideas and possibilities. And I do believe from all my research that there is a small group, some call them the elite, some call them the cabal. I'm not gonna say the Illuminati. Maybe there's Illuminati, maybe there isn't. It doesn't matter, because there is definite circumstantial evidence that, a small group of people is sort of pulling the strings on what's going on here. Who are they? Do they meet at Davos? Is it the World Economic Forum? I have no idea. I'm not sure. It's like dark matter. We just see evidence of it, but we don't know what it is. And it's kind of like that. We definitely see evidence of it. So we'll just put a big question mark and call them the Matrix people. I don't know what else to call them. So there's some group of people, a shadowy group of people that are pulling the strings on the decay in this world. I don't know why they're doing it. I don't know if it's on purpose. I don't know if it's just that they're so brainwashed with or drugged out by the idea of money that they can't help themselves, because greed blinds, right? We could go into this forever. Greed blinds. So maybe they're just blinded by their greed. I don't know. But it's this group of people have created a system, or at least control it, because it just sort of evolved. I could go on and on about this. So our current system, I call the Matrix. I'm not saying we live in a computer, not like that. I just mean it's a system of control, mostly through economics. And I just call this evil system the Matrix, right? This Matrix has several parts that I've run into in my struggles in life. What was the first one I ran into? Well, there's the economic matrix, right? You kind of know it because it's like something doesn't smell right. Why is it so hard to make a living? Why do I have to work so hard? And then I don't have any money. I'm in all this debt. It takes me 10 years to save for a house. Half my money goes to rent. I have all these bills. Why is my life such a struggle? I work 2 jobs. This is the economic matrix. It doesn't need to be this way, but there's something going on there that's not right. The other matrix is the housing matrix, which is related. And these matrices, these are just general ideas. They all overlap and stuff. But, I need a place to live. I'm working 2 jobs. What? Oh, I gotta have perfect credit and $10,000 to rent a 1-bedroom apartment. Oh, it's like, okay, something's wrong there. Well, let me buy a house. Oh, I have to borrow $500,000 to buy a house for my family. Oh, okay, well, that's gonna cost a lot of money. Like something's wrong here. Something is seriously wrong. Oh, look at all these homeless people. Oh, like my daughters, they're working 2 jobs and they can't rent an apartment. Wait, why not? Like, what's going on here? You see? So, oh, it's LA and there's homeless people everywhere and there's empty lots everywhere and they're just building billion-dollar towers over here. I don't understand. See? Like, what's going on? Like, something's not right. That's the housing matrix. Then there's the food matrix, right? Like, I ran into this when I got sick, and I started trying to eat healthy, and that's when I realized how much bad food there is in the grocery stores. Mostly sugar. Everything has freaking sugar in it. They put sugar in every freaking thing. Even the health drinks are, they lie and make it say, like, I got this thing was called Body Armor, and it said no added sugar. So you just see no sugar. But when we look deeper, it turns out it has fruit juice, which has sugar. So it has a lot of sugar still. So they're deceiving you, right? And then it turns out that just like 5 companies control most of the food companies. Whenever a healthy food company comes along that actually tries to do good, they get bought out. Case in point, Naked Juice and Adwala, which used to have organic ingredients and they were health oriented. Now they're almost like soda, really. I mean, they got all kinds of GMO, pesticide laden crap in there, and it's like it's just a shadow of its former self. Who made these decisions? Why? Do they drink it? Do they feed it to their kids? I always wonder, the people that run these companies, do they buy their own products? Like, do people work at Kellogg's with all those sugar cereals that are like candy? I have a feeling they don't feed those cereals to their kids. They probably go to Whole Foods and they buy the healthy stuff. Similarly, the people who run Ralph's, which is some mega corporation thing owned by who knows what, you go into Ralph's, you feel like you're in a freaking human zoo. Everything's inflated. You're crowded in there like a freaking animal. They're probably laughing at the bank. Look at those animals in the zoo. And it's like, do they shop at Ralph's? Why do I have the feeling the executives of Ralph's, or in your neighborhood it's probably called Kroger, why do I have the feeling they don't shop there? They probably go to Whole Foods or some like boutique, whole food market. Something's wrong here. So I call that the food matrix because, all those additives and chemicals and sugar and all that crap is making us sick, dulling our brains, and just keeping us asleep, which seems to be part of the goal. I'm not saying it's an overt objective, like we must keep them asleep, put stuff in the food. Like, I just think it's a process of greed. And greed blinds, and so, people, it does blind. I don't know if you've ever been greedy or in a greedy situation. It kind of blinds you, like you don't realize it at the time. It's interesting. I like to think that's what's happening. Sorry if the lights keep blinking out. It's the camera. The lights aren't blinking. It's just if the focus goes out, it changes. I'll try not to move. But basically, that's the food matrix. When I got sick, I started trying to eat healthier. It's pretty much I can only eat at Whole Foods. Well, they got bought out by Amazon. So Amazon is deconstructing Whole Foods as we speak. In a couple of years, it'll look like Ralph's. I mean, it's like, why is everything getting more expensive? Why is everything getting worse? They're raising prices. Why not lower prices? Like, because they don't care. And their main goal is to make money at all costs. Like, that's all they care about. And the people who do care, they get out. They get kicked out of those organizations. You're not gonna last long if you're not with the program. So anyway, there's some other matrices. These are all just divisions of the ultimate matrix, which is what we're fighting. We're trying to heal this civilization. So ultimately, as dream warriors, we're here to heal the planet. We're here to do our purpose. And so, it's to help fight, it's to fight these matrices and heal these problems. I don't know what your purpose is. Your spirit knows. You'll know because it's something you care about. It's a feeling. You're going to feel like, that sucks. I want to do something about it. Somebody, if you hear yourself say, somebody needs to do something, it's you. You're the somebody. You're talking to yourself. So do something about it. We don't have a lot of time. But that's the enemy. And that's pretty much Western civilization, right? This is a problem. I don't know. The problem is like all the dials in this civilization are red. What's the other one? Oh, the media matrix. So, again, like the food, the media is controlled by like 5 corporations, controls like all media. A perfect example is the Fox guy, Murdoch. I can't remember the name of his company, but that company controls all these other companies. So it's a big consolidation of power. And so, like we saw with the pandemic, hey, whether you are pro-vaccine, that's not the point here. Of course, if you're pro-vaccine, you probably assume everything is great. Anyway, I'm not getting into that right now. The point is that that's when we really got to see the power of the media to control information. And, sure, if you believe that the information was good, but what if it was the other way? What if they decide to hide something or stop you from knowing something that you need to know? They have that power, obviously. We'll talk about that. That's really getting into conspiracy land, which I don't really want to get into. It's not the point. The point is, maybe if I step back, the point is that that's the media matrix, and you can't trust them. The major news outlets are just about fear. Watch ABC News for any length of time, and you can just tell their whole thing is fear, 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 fear. It should be, hey, today on the news. No, it should be, hey, we got a lot of stuff for you to be scared of today. Here's something to be scared of. Here's something to be scared of. Here's something to be scared of. Are you scared yet? No? Okay, we got even more stuff to scare you. Don't worry, we'll come back tomorrow and scare you even more. Because we want you scared. We want you afraid. Like, this is their thing. They're not going to tell you objectively or overtly, but all you have to do is watch it, and you'll see that. I'm like, who are these people? Like, how do you do this? Like, so you watch that stuff for a week, you get filled with fear, tension. You start feeling scared and afraid, and it affects your subconscious. But that's the media matrix. So it's bad. Food, housing, economy, the media, technology. There's a technology matrix. As you know, the technology is controlled by 5 major corporations. Why is it always 5 major corporations? Facebook, Google, Microsoft, Amazon. I think they have a name for the 5. I forgot what they call it. There's a name for these 5. But it's 5, 6, whatever. But the point is, a few major corporations control the technology. They can censor what you say. YouTube, for example. We saw this in the pandemic. We saw them exert their control. Hey, I'm not getting into if you're pro or vaccine or against. That's not the point. The point is that they were able to censor what they didn't want you to hear, and you couldn't learn for yourself. Which I discovered. I'm gonna diverge. So the way I discovered at the power of this media of the tech matrix was, I heard a contrary opinion about the vaccine. And I wasn't against the vaccine necessarily. I just personally at the time was leery of the fact that it had been released so quickly. I never do the first version of anything. So I wanted more information. So I heard this guy say something kind of negative about it. And then what I discovered was I could not find any info on him. Every time, so I went down this rabbit hole. I just want to know what he had to say. Just because I listen to him doesn't mean I agree. And I went down this rabbit hole of censorship, and that's when I realized how bad it is. I basically had to go off to like a right-wing platform called Odyssey. I don't know if it's right-wing or not, but this is like an independent platform to finally hear what the dude had to say. Do I agree with what I don't know. I just want to hear what he had to say. Why can't I hear what he had to say and make my own freaking decision? So it's scary because they can use that same power of control for other things if they want to. It just shows they have the infrastructure to do this. Kind of like China. China's a great example of the matrix in full effect in all ways. And there are people like that Klaus Schwab dude from the World Economic Forum. I don't know much about him, but I heard him say he likes China and he likes the way the government is surveilling everyone. He said this. So there you have it from the horse's mouth. I don't want to get too deep into that stuff. It's a waste of freaking time. We have work to do, and that's what I want to talk about. But this is our enemy as far as like these systems in our society that are oppressing us, okay? Ruining the planet, ruining the people, ruining the animals and the creatures. It's bad. So if we look at our society, if our society was a car or an engine and it had like dials, and it, I wish I had some animation I could put up here, but I'll just use my hands. So all the dials are in the red. All the dials are saying this engine is sick, this engine is about to explode, this engine is about to die. One of the dials, they're kind of related to those matrices I was telling you about, but I'm gonna try to remember them. So environmentally, that dial is definitely in the red. So even on the level of just climate change, we see storms and weather changes. Beaches are being washed away in Florida, in San Diego. They're just being washed away. People are like, wow, what happened to the beach? It just got washed away. Like, I wonder what could be going on. Okay, so that's climate change. Fires everywhere, heat waves. I'm in California, so I know all about it. But in Texas, they're freezing. We all see the weather, right? So the environment's on red. And what do? We just keep polluting, right? See, that shows you right there something's wrong. Like Greta Thunberg, the Star Kid girl that is fighting climate change. Literally while the beaches were being washed away in, what was that? I think it was San Diego. Literally, no, it was San Jose. No, God, I can't remember. It was in the Bay Area, but this beach town, the beach literally got washed away. It left a cliff there. She's in Germany trying to stop the government from, expanding a coal mining plant into this town. And they beat them up and they arrested her. It's like, what's going on here? Like, we know that carbon is causing these problems, but yet we want to keep burning more carbon. Like, what's going on here? You're not supposed to notice that. Hey, there's nothing to see here. Just keep going to your job. Hey, in sports today, hey, look at this movie. Don't notice that. See, that's the media matrix, man. The news will cover that stuff and like, what? Climate change? They will mention it every now and then, but not really. It's like, God, there's all kinds of huge environmental destruction happening because of the weather patterns. Oh, on to sports. Did you hear the Knicks beat the so-and-sos? Yeah, sports. Oh, your house got flooded with sports. God. Humans, man. God dang. It's like, but it's sad because it's like, it's not all of us. It's just a small group of people doing this evil. So anyway, that dial is red. Let's look at the economic dial. The economic dial is definitely in the red. So, they're lowering interest rates. They're trying to cause a recession. I mean, they don't want a recession, but it's probably going to trigger one. There was hyperinflation. That's still around a little bit. Not hyperinflation. There's just inflation. That was around a little bit. Then now the dial, now we're heading into recession territory. It's probably going to go too far. They're going to have to raise it, lower. Anyway, they're going to have to lower interest rates again, which will. Did I say they lowered interest rates? What I meant was they raised interest rates, if I didn't say that, and is causing a recession. And when they do, it doesn't matter. People are being laid off, housing prices are dropping. I mean, it's going to get worse. And so can we put faith in the economy? No, the economy is in red, and it's just going to get red. Like, that piston's going to blow for sure. So we got environment in the red, economic in the red, and then technology is in the red. And the way we know this is like, let's just look at the trajectory of technology. And I'm a tech person, so I know. Well, AI just came out last year. Computer graphics are equal and surpassing what visual reality. Like, in a couple of years, computer graphics will look better than reality. Surveillance technology is like everywhere. There's freaking cameras everywhere. Robots are becoming more dexterous than humans. They just released all these new brains. They don't call them brains, they call them models. But Chat GPT, GPT-3, and all the other companies and their models and whatever. So we got these super mega brains that are like outsmarting humans at literally everything that we can do. And so where is all this heading? Like, is this heading towards a good future? Like, first of all, just like with climate change and the oil and the storms, it's like, it's obvious that, like, if these robots and AI tools start taking away jobs, what are people supposed to do? Eventually, you're going to have millions of unemployed people and a few rich people, and it's like, what? Like, that's not going to work. God forbid they put the brain in the robot. We won't be able to stop it. Maybe that's the plan. I don't know. To keep us masses under control, have like millions of these robots. You won't be able to beat it. It'll be smarter than you, and it'll be, like a gymnast. So this is heading towards a dark direction. If you want to know, look at China. China's like the sort of leader, like, this is where we're all going, right? That Klaus Schwab dude wants us to go there, where they have a total surveillance state. So the other thing is, like, they want to release these central bank digital currencies. They want to get rid of Bitcoin so they can control every transaction. AI running everything, robots running everything. It's gonna be bad. Like, everything's censored, just like in China. Like, you can't post anything without the censors seeing it. Cameras everywhere, AI watching your every freaking move. So I feel like, I'm not a conspiracy theorist in that sense, but I just feel like I don't like the direction that this is going. Like, do I want to live in this ultimate surveillance state world where I'm just sort of a virtual slave? I have no freedom, and I'm surrounded by all this technology. I mean, our kids are on screens. Like, I walk into my house, my mother-in-law, my 80-year-old mother-in-law is on her computer all day, or her phone. My daughter's on her phone. My son's on his phone. My wife's on her phone. Like, everyone's just like, huh? Hi, huh? Like, what? Like, this is not healthy. And I like tools and technology when they're helping us, but this is going too far. So I would say the tech thing is in the red too. So what does that leave? We've got environment, economic, technology. So then spiritually, or the social aspect, social, psychological aspect, I'm gonna just say spiritually. The spiritual dial is in the red. Don't believe me? Just go on YouTube and look at trending. Look at what's the most popular videos on YouTube. And that will tell you the state of our society. Like, it's bad. Like, I mean, the music videos, the video games are just like ridiculous. Like, I mean, it's just, as far as like any kind of morality, it's just out the window. It's like all this evil stuff, right? And murder, gore, hazy moral values about what's right and wrong. Right is wrong and wrong is right. Like, right? And like, do we want to live in this world? Like, God, like, I walked into someone's house once and their little kids were watching some horror flick. The mom didn't even care. She's on her phone. I didn't say, I wanted to say, you shouldn't let your kids watch that. Like, people were being shot up, blood everywhere. I was like, what the hell is going on here? It's like a freaking nightmare, man. Like, God, like, and then people are just like, ain't nothing wrong, what? It's just a show, it's just a movie, it's just a game. That's what they always say. That's the entertainment matrix, by the way. And there's an entertainment matrix. I don't know if I mentioned that one. You know, they control all the movies and games and all this stuff, and you know, so this definitely, the movie matrix is or the entertainment matrix is definitely a problem that I've run into. If you're out trying to do some good work that's gonna make a difference, they ain't gonna let you. You know, I saw this problem a long time ago, and you smell it, like you see signs here and there, you know, it's like, why are all the movies with black kids, why they always have a gun? Like, why? Well, maybe someone wants it that way. You know, it's like, again, a few companies control all the entertainment. Just like the food. It's like, wow. So a few producers or executives or whatever, whoever control the entertainment. It's like, so we got an entertainment matrix, and I would say the entertainment dial's in the red too. If that was a dial of our society, that relates to the spiritual dial, but it's just like, I'm not an overly religious person, but I think even an atheist can see the degradation of our society. Did I say it right? Degradation, I think, or the moral decay. I don't get, even if you're an atheist, you still have to have some sense of right and wrong. You're not just a total amoeba that's just like, oh, anything goes. Like, you know when something's right and when something's wrong, you know. And it's just sort of going down. And then, let me see, economic, environmental, and spiritual. There's another one, I can't remember. The point being on this long video is that our society is dying, and that's the main issue. And I have a lot to say on this subject. In fact, I have a whole nother channel related to that. I don't want to mix that in with this too much, because the main point of Dream Power is to help you be a real dream warrior and get out there and do your work while we still have time. Like, that's the goal. And I don't want to mix it up with a bunch of other stuff. But if you really want to know, I have another channel called newearthascension.net. It's not up yet, but it will talk about like this, like the earth dying and what's going to happen. Because I get info on that too. So, and it ain't pretty. And I'm pretty depressed about it, honestly. I see our society dying on multiple levels. Even on the level of just capitalism, it's dying because, you know, we're just freaking raping the planet, man. We're scooping all the fish out of the water. You know, we're cutting down all the trees. You know, it's like we're polluting all the air, polluting all the water. It's like, it's just bad, you know? So we're killing off all the animals. Like what? Like, what kind of world are we creating? And again, this is controlled by these mega corporations that are controlled by this elite group of people, the Matrix people, and they don't seem to care. It's like, are they going to another planet or something? Like that movie, Don't Look Up. Are they going to another planet? Like, they live here too. Are they going to Mars? Is that why they hired, you know, Elon Musk to make the rocket ships? Like, what? Like, they have kids too, but they just, I guess money just blinds them. When you have millions and billions, you just sort of, you psychologically just can't deal with it. I look at the greed of Amazon and how that company is just so freaking greedy, and that guy is just, Bezos just seems to have no freaking heart, you know? It's just like, God, like, who are these freaking people? Are they aliens? Like, what? Like, God, like, anyway, this is the battle we're up against, okay? Or you're up against, but you chose this mission. So I just wanted to, I kind of went off on those tangents, but you know, the world is dying, I believe. I just gave you evidence. We can talk about it more. But I think anyone with half a brain can see that this society is terminal and is, like they keep wanting you to think is normal. I fall for it all the time. It started after the pandemic. It's like, oh, pandemic's over. Everything's back to normal. Go back to work. Keep buying, people. Here's some money. And then like it would come back. And it was like, and after that happened like 2 or 3 times, I was like, wait a minute. It's never going to be normal. Why do I keep thinking it's going to be normal? Then it finally kind of went away this year. I started falling into that pattern of like, it's going to be normal. Only to realize that it's never, then the economy started dying. It's like, you know what, that whole fantasy that I'm being sold by the media, like, it's gonna be normal. You're gonna go make a lot of money and go on vacation. Like, I was falling for that. I call that the lifestyle trap, by the way. It's like, no, it's not gonna be normal. It's just gonna get worse and worse. Like, look, even the disasters, if you look at the pattern, which, we've had in California, like it's extreme heat, extreme rain, storms. Each year it gets worse and worse. In the media, they never talk about the pattern or the trend. They just talk about what's happening today. Oh, it was a 1,000-year flood. It was a 1,000-year storm. Well, what about next year? It just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. But there's this general vibe of like, nothing to see here, folks. Yeah, there was a storm, but just keep going to work. The economy's okay. Keep buying. The stores are open. Like they don't want us to really, like a proper leadership would be, hey, these storms are going to get worse. This stuff's getting worse. We need to they need to treat it like World War II, like where they turned the whole country upside down to fight the Japanese and Germans. But they're not doing that. Instead, it's just sort of like, let's see here. There's no Japanese bombing Pearl Harbor. What Pearl Harbor? That didn't happen. That was just a little something. Like if today was World War II, that's what it would be like. I mean, God. But I believe that we are here to make a difference. I don't know how much of a difference we can make. I know that's depressing, but that's kind of why I'm here now. That's why I've decided to get off my butt and get this information out, because I see how messed up everything is, and I feel like we don't have a lot of time. And so if you feel compelled to do a certain kind of work or something, get out and start doing it. We don't have a lot of time, and I'm gonna try my best to help you with what I know as best I can. But I would say, if now is the time. Now is the time. So, yeah. All right, that's enough for this video. God dang, how many videos are we gonna do?